Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. Uh, Welcome to another tutorial on how to mix lead vocal. And I know this is going to be useful to somebody out there. This is another regular way to mix an hip hop vocal or any kind of genre. So without wasting time, let's just dive right into my Cubase. I'm using Cubase 14. By the way, if you need my Cubase 14 or if you need a version of this Cubase 14 for more efficient work, you can just drop a request on the comment section. I will look at it. And also, please, I'll encourage you to play this video from beginning to the end. That is the only way you can grab something. There are some things I'm going to be sharing at the end of the video that you're going to need. Once more, welcome back to my channel. I have a project here. It's by an artist, Jeff Tar. I'm going to open the project and play it without any effect. So let me put off everything, then put them back on. Then I will start to regulate them one after the other so that we're going to regulate them together. I've added the processors, but they are not yet balanced. So we're going to balance it together. We'll look at it together. So I'll encourage you to stay or to stick with me on this video. So listen to the raw vocals.
Went through the valley of the shadow of death. Tongue won't kill me for that side. Now once I return back, enemies just the dance. They pushing in my hands. I get flows, but I say make a day behind bars. Yes, nah, cause the boy no fit parent to God do for.
Okay, so let me add the beats and say.
Went through the valley of the shadow of death. Tongue won't kill me for that side. Now once I return back, enemies just the dance. They pushing in my hands. I get flows.
All right, let me put on everything raw as I added all the processors and see with the beats before we start to regulate them. Listen.
I get flows, but I say make a day behind bars. Yes, nah, cause the boy no fit parent to God do for now. Wait they with parent to thank you, Jara, because they steady come through. You do.
Okay, what did I do? It's simple. Let's open. First of all, you right click here and add effect tracks. So I normally add 4 or 5 effect tracks. It's for a purpose. That is the way I do my regulations. I do my mix. So after adding the 4 effect tracks, which are this, I'll name them as follow. This is reverb effects, then delay effects, which is effects, and this is the chorus, and this is the space. And I will tell you the usefulness of all of them. So first of all, let's go into the track. This track is mixed, and this is especially when you are mixing a track that is non-melody, that doesn't have melody. It's like a rap or thereabout or a talk. So of course you're not going to auto-tune it or any sort of pitch correct or those stuff. So let's open the panel. So what I did first, let me put this off, put all this off, and so I started from here. I'll come over here, go to load strip and load any preset from Cubase, then I will regulate it. So I don't want to click anyone so that I won't scatter the presets, or I can still scatter it and still arrange it, but to save time so that the video will not be too long. All right, now let's play it.
Through you do for me, my brother. So what about you? Big shout out to my maker with the Abido shaker.
So your drive will be at around 2.9 dB. It's okay there. You leave this at 0.5, you leave this at 2000 Hz, and you can control your output as you wish. If I pull this all the way up, you will see the effects. So listen.
Shaker. God punish anybody we go say I no go make.
You can see the drive is too much, so you regulate your drive according to your ear or your headphones or your speakers.
Say I no go make them Italian football D. I swear I know they fake.
Next up is the compressor, the tube compressor. Just adjust my character at 73%. My attack should come down a bit, at least 18 or 20 is okay because of the speed of the vocals. Then my drive at 2.0 is okay. Frequency at 115 is good. Then of course this is insignificant. Then above all, my mix at 55% is enough. Now listen.
I know they fake. I'm on my places. Go to Jara issue. No fit afford them.
Now at this point already, the vocals is already looking bright without any other stuff. So this portion, as you can see here, this part is to clean or to cut out all those excess weight. from the microphone or probably from the person's voice. As you know already as a producer, their voices differ. There are some voices that are thicker and heavier than some voices. So, and also, as you're recording, the mic will pick some surround, some weightier surrounding or some heavy noise from probably from the beats or from the headphones and those stuff. So any low end, you can cut it out at this point. So let me put it off and hear.
Damn, I fall down in accordance. Make could give all the praise.
This is it off. Now let's put it on.
Could give all the praise to my God, cause He deserve am.
You can see the brightness is coming out. Then let's go back to our insert. So what I have here first is my Pro Compressor 2 from FabFilter. Is a free plugin. You can request it, or I will just drop the link in the description below so that you can get it. So this is my compressor. What I did here was, it was simple because the vocal is already loud, so I didn't have to increase my dry gain. So my threshold at minus 25.29 is doing the job that I need already, and my ratio at 5.45 is good. So let's hear it.
He put me out of the slum. That was a whack place. So see the day that I
You
die,
can see I'm getting a cut around minus 13, which is even way very much. I'm going to reduce it to around 4.0.
I can take a space pause first. Make I confess.
All right, that's fine. So next up is my Pro Q3, which is an EQ from FabFilter also 3. So you can see what I did here. Still have to do some cuts at this point. So while I play it, you study the graphics around this area.
Yes, I'm choosing who are you saying you want contest.
You can see this session is taken care of in the mix. Let's now look at a point where the frequency is overpowering some other frequencies.
They be say I no go make am, but alhamdulillah, my God is so great. Alhamdulillah.
I think at this point, at this 500 area, I think this point is too much. So I'm going to do a cut out from here a bit. Then I'm going to solo it, which is why I love this EQ. I'm going to solo it. You can see still hitting a bit. So
back enemies just the dance, they pushing in my hands. I get flows, but I say make a day behind bars. Yes, now, cause.
All right. So I think at this point I am very good to go. So let's go over to the next, and the next is a DSR from the same FabFilter, and I just had to go over to single voice and pick any preset, which is May wide or May split. And I look at the points, the cutout point, which is from 2. The highest cutout point here is around 3.4. So I'm going to reduce the threshold to about minus 33.0.
Thank you, Jara, because they steady come through. You do for me, man.
Okay, I think that's enough at that point. So the next I have here is a plugin called Fresh Hair. It's also a free plugin that you can download. By the way, it will just give the vocal that fresh breath from the sound. It will just do all the job stylishly. So let's put this is without it. Listen.
You do for me, my brother. So what's about you, big?
This is with it on.
What's about you? Big shout out to my maker with the Abido shaker. God punish.
The difference is clear, isn't it? So you just have to regulate your mid air and your high air. Sometimes if your high air is too much, it will not be so nice. Which is why it's good to work with your headphones, also work with your speakers simultaneously, so that you can do a balance up to know, because the purpose where your speaker is more beneficial is when if you have a bigger speaker like mine, this Rocket 10, it has more space. So from there you can be able to detect if the voices are too weightier or they are too high. So let's take this out. So what I have next here is my Pro AMB from FabFilter. The reason why I'm just selecting all plugins from FabFilter so that it can be easier for you to just get FabFilter and just work with all these plugins, and I think they are pretty good plugins. No cap, no argument. So next up I have here, the reason why I love to use this guy is sometimes it has the ability to also solo a particular frequency, and once you solo the frequency, you can compress the frequency. You can do all sort of things to that particular frequency. So let's solo this low end and see if there are still any rumbling remaining. So let's go back to this 200 area. So my threshold at 43, I think is good at this point. Then my range at 4, let me take it down a bit. Okay, let's on it and here.
Back place. So see the day that I die, no man can take his place. Pause first. Make I confess.
I can hear an awkward sound, I think, from this 2K area. So what I'm going to do to be able to detect it correctly, I will add a plus, then I will solo it and start to trace that sound.
Make I confess.
Very good. I think this is this point. I think it is in the 2K area. So let's hear it again. So what I'll do is I will take the range up a bit. It's too much. So at about 2.24 is okay. Then I'll draw the level down a bit. And my threshold will have to come down to minus 33.4. Let's say minus 20, minus 35 will be okay. Fantastic. So let's put up everything.
Tonga won't kill me for that side. Now once I return back, enemy.
Fantastic. You can do yours and regulate it according to your voice production and your amplification system. So next up, what I have here is my NX1. Is a noise gate plugin. Why there is, and this one is from Waves. This is the most powerful noise plugins that I know. You don't have to just do no more, do nothing else other than move the fader. So all those ones you have from Cubase and other plugins, you have to regulate the threshold and do all those too much work. This one, no, just pull this up a bit and you see the wonders. Listen.
Enemy just the dance, they pushing in my hands. I get flows,
but
they say make a day behind bars. Yes, nah, cause the boy not fit parental. God do for now, wait there with parental. Thank you.
And the beauty of this NS1 is it doesn't affect the vocals. All it does is it goes after anything noise, anything that is not an actual wave. That's what it goes after. So I think it's a pretty professional plugin. You can get it if you install the entire wave bundle. I think you can find it there. And the last thing I have here is my breath control plugin. So the reason why I have to put this on, sometimes if there are too much up and down, so I have to put a breath control plugin to be able to keep some of those excess breath movement. Let me put it on and listen. You can see at this point, you can see this is a breath part in the wave, so it will cut it out. Listen again.
Yeah, man, I went through the valley of the shadow of death. Tonga won't kill me.
Another thing you can do is come over to this output breath only and click it. Then you will hear only the breath and not the voice. Pay attention. Did you hear it? Did you hear it? So that is how this plugin works. At any point where there are too much, it will cut it out. I think at this point I am okay with what I have here. Listen, you might want to do more. It is your song. You are the producer. You are the mixing engineer. At this point, I am good with what I have here on my insert. So let's move over to the send quickly. So I have 4 send here. So let me put all of them on first of all and regulate them one after the other. So let me put this off over here. This is my effects track. So let's go back to the reverb effects. So let me put it off. So this is the voice without any effects on it.
Give all the praise to my God, because he deserve him. He put me out of the slum. That was a whack place. So see,
let's put it on now.
So see the day that I die, no man can take his place. Pause first, make I confess. I'm a shoes.
Now, when you are working with reverb, you have to be extremely very careful. Like I said, I've not regulated it yet. So what I did here was to set everything, then I have to go and balance it later on. If you are working with your reverb, you have to work it according to the speed of the voice. Because this song is pretty fast. It's a rap song. I have to take the pre-delay up a bit to about 91 or 92 or thereabouts. Let me leave it at 90. Okay, let me leave it here. Then my space. Now you have to be careful with this guy. This guy right here. If I push it all the way, it will be too much. Listen.
I'm a choosing who are you say you want contest. They be say I no go make am, but I'll handle the lie.
You can
My
see.
God is so.
You can see it will start to distort into each other because the sustained power or the space is too much. So we have to call this down to a point where you can actually hear the end of the first before going over to the next. I don't know if you got that.
My God is so great. Alhamdulillah.
You can see it. Can enter the nest. Then my distance, I don't need it to be too much because it's a single project. It's not like a project where you have backup here and there and all those stuff. Just a single voice, so we can actually allow it to breathe all over the place. My character 30% is good. Then my width, which is the most important thing, is you can't drag this all the way over. It will lose the potency if you do that. So I think 58 or probably 60 is okay according to your ear regulation. While my mix, I would love to put it first of all. If I'm working with a reverb, I always love to take my mix up so that I can hear everything properly. Thereafter, I can take it back down when I am satisfied.
Great. Alhamdulillah. Went through the valley of.
Fantastic. So let's go over here and regulate it. So this is my reverb effects. By the way, like I forgot, so when you finish creating them here, you have to come over here, click this part to actually add all of them one after the other before you start to regulate it. So let's regulate this guy right here. So I will play it and regulate it until I get to a point where I feel it is okay. Listen.
Through the valley of the shadow of death, hunger won't kill me for that side. Now once I return back, enemies just the dance, they push chains in my hands. I get flows, but I say make a day behind bars. Yes, nah, cause the boy no fit parent to God do for now. Where they with.
Fantastic. So let's go over to the next, which is my delay. What I have here is my H delay from Waves plugin. Also, then I have a reverb under to send it back a bit. So I'm going to put this off and put only the delay on, and then listen.
Now where they with parent to thank you Jara because they steady come through. You do for me,
Like I said, they are not balanced yet. So I think 1/8. I'm using a synchronized delay preset. So I think 1/8 is good. You just have to regulate the feedback a bit. I will leave my dry wet at this 35 because I'm going to regulate it over there, or I'm going to regulate it over there. So there's no need to touch this guy. I need to hear it very well so that I'll be sure of what I'm doing.
you do for me, my brother. So what's up?
Very good. Now, if I put this reverb on, it will push it back a bit away from the main vocal so that it will not become a distraction. Listen.
Brother, so what's about you? Big shout out to my maker with the
Do you see the difference? Let me put it off again.
maker with the abido shaker. God
at
punish
it.
anybody we go say I no go make am. Italian
Look at it.
body, I swear I know.
So, and of course, I have to cut this end and add a bit of EQ to amplify the portions where I love it to sound. So let's go over to the vocals and regulate it again. So let's play it. So this is my delay. Make sure you are regulating the correct one.
I swear I know they fake. I'm on my praises. Go to Jara issue. No fit afford them. Afford them. In accordance, people give all the praise to my God, cause they deserve him. He put me out of the slum. That was a whack place. So see the day that I die, no man can take his place. Pause first.
So you can regulate yours to a point where it is not actually taking the glory from the original vocals. So we have two more here. The next here is my chorus, the chorus plugin. So I have this professional chorus plugin. I think it is called the Trad Chorus. Okay, it's from T-Rax. It's from T-Rax. This way it sounds originally. If I take it all the way up,
Place pause first. Make I confess. I'm a choosing who are you say you want contest.
it's actually doing the job. So I didn't have to add it into the main insert. I just need to bring it up from an effects track so that the original vocals will not be missing in action, and also this can take full effect. So what I did was to come over to here and choose a preset, which is this vocal robot. Then I just have to regulate it a bit here and there. That's according to your discretion. So let's go over to the lead and just regulate it accordingly. So this is the chorus right here. So let's play it and regulate it.
One contest, they be say I no go make am, but alhamdulillah, my God is so great, alhamdulillah. Went through the
So I think at this point I am good to go. Lastly is my space. You actually need this in all your vocal work. This will help you to actually push the vocal away from all the instrumentals and all those stuff that we probably wants to hide the vocal. The space effect will actually lift it away. So this is okay. This is Pro R2 from FabFilter Reverb 2. That is Reverb 1. So what I normally do is I'll come over to this part, click it, come over to ambience, and go and look for any of the space plugin preset here and just select one. So I selected this wide super short ambient. I think I'm super cool with the way it sounded. So let's play it, and like I always told you, I would love to take my mix up first of all. Then after the moment I'm okay, I'm satisfied, I will drag it back down to a regulative point. So let's hear it.
went through the valley of the shadow of death. Tongue won't keep me for that side. Now once I return back, enemies just the dance, they pushing in my hands. I get flows, but I say make a day behind bars. Yes, nah, cause
Yeah, I think at this point I'm good with all the settings. I'm always careful with this brightness. This guy right here, he can just destroy the whole thing. I think the distance is too much. Let me bring it back down a bit. My pre-delay, let me take it down because I already had one up there on the first reverb. So we don't want everything to be dangling here and there. I think my character to just go up a bit.
cause the boy no fit parent to God do.
Fantastic job. So let's go over to the voice and regulate it a bit. It's not really compulsory that you must drag everything down. It's according to how they are working. So let's hear it.
So God do for now wait they with parents.
So at this point, this is the first vocal, and this vocal is a verse. It's actually the rap. So let me name it rap. So that when we are doing a balance work, like I will move over to the chorus. The chorus is actually very, very, very rough and very raw. So I will do a correction of the vocal in your presence to tell you how you are supposed to work as a producer, because you can work with very terrible singers sometimes, or probably sometimes you can work with singers that are not so professional. So let's now balance it with the instrumental and see what we've got here.
With parents, oh, thank you, Jara, because they steady come through. You do for me, my brother. So what's about you? Big shout out to my maker with the happy do shaker. God punish anybody who go say I no go make am. Italian football D, I swear I know they fake. I'm on my places. Go to Jara issue. No fit I fall down. In accordance, people give all the praise to my God, cause they deserve him. He put me out of the slum, that was a whack place. So till the day that I die, no man can take his place. Pause first, make I confess. I'm a choosing who are you, say you won't contest. Let me say I no go make am, but alhamdulillah, my God is so great, alhamdulillah.
Okay, yeah, this is the part for the chorus, and like I told you, the chorus is actually it's sounding so terrible. So let me play the chorus and let's amend it right here. Listen.
Come true, Jeff Daddy call you, what they call Jeff Daddy call you.
As raw as can stand. Listen.
Jeff Daddy call you, Jeff Daddy call you, Jeff Daddy call you, Jeff Daddy call you. Verse to the.
So you can let me just anchor this part. Let me loop this part. Okay. Now you can see that everything is sounding as raw as it can. There are no processors, no EQ. It just acts as it is coming. So let me solo this first one and see if it's a melody part.
Please come true, Baba. Now you.
So it's actually a non-melody. So I'll come over here and copy the channel settings. Are you seeing? You don't have to duplicate and begin to pay. No, just copy it. Open that vocal, come over here and paste the channel settings, and boom, everything that you put there will just appear here. All you need to do is now regulate it so that it will not fight with the vocal. Since this is a punch track, it can carry equal volume like this verse track. So I'm going to take the volume down a bit.
You are the call. They won't see me for.
Fantastic.
I'm on you are the call. Please come.
So I'll pan it a bit over to the left so that it will not fight with the lead vocal. So I haven't done that. Okay, now let's solo the main lead chorus first and hear what the person is singing.
Jeff Daddy call you.
You can see that some notes are actually flattened, so I'm doing everything in one. This is a complete mixing tutorial, both pitch correct and everything. So let's come over here. Listen.
Jeff Daddy call you.
This note is supposed to be me. Let me go back to my control room and add a okay, sorry, let me add a monitor so that you can actually hear what we are controlling. So this is me.
Call you.
So I have to correct this note. I think the song is on the key of C sharp. On the key of C sharp. So the song is at the key of is on the key of C sharp.
Jeff.
So this also re do do mi.
Jeff Daddy call you.
So this all these notes here are supposed to be on me. So just follow me. I'm going to speed this part. So that part is corrected. So I'm going to go over to the next part. Let me hear what is sung there. Let me hear the harmony.
Jeff Daddy call you.
This is supposed to be an higher harmony. So let me just color it. So family sa sa. So I'll just go over and straighten the vocals again. Very good. So I haven't finished that particular work, so I will bounce it so that to not go out again. I think the last one is a higher tone,
Jeff Daddy
a
call
lower
you.
one.
Jeff Daddy call you.
So this will be la sa sa mi, la sa sa mi. So you still have to know a bit of music in your head to be able to do some of this pitch correct. You need to know a bit of the song to be able to do this also. So now this is after the pitch correct. So let's hear the raw voices and hear the sound.
Jeff Daddy call you. Jeff Daddy call you. Jeff Daddy call you. Jeff Daddy call you.
I will take this as the main voice.
Jeff Daddy call you.
So this guy, I will take this guy all the way to the left. Let's over 70.
Jeff Daddy call you.
I will take this guy over this way.
Jeff Daddy call you.
I think we're good to go. So let's get everything. Boom.
They won't see me for Jeff Daddy call you. Jeff Daddy call you. Jeff Daddy call you. Jeff Daddy call you. They won't see me for Jeff Daddy call you. Jeff Daddy call you. Please come true.
So thank you very much. That is how I do my mix, and it's just a mix. I've not mastered yet. Of course, I'll still come back to do some bits of pitch correcting to make the voices a bit stronger and straighter than it is now. Of course, we can't do everything in this video. It's going to be too long and your data is going to be burning. So thank you for staying with me this long. I will see you in the next tutorial. Please feel free to ask questions, contribution, or put anything in the comment section, and I will see you again. Bye for now.